Hi guys, so today we're going to work on diversifying your vocabulary. There are so many words that we overuse, we use them every now and then. Take for instance, you're a public speaker. Remember in my last video on public speaking with Cyrus Rogers, you can still watch it here. I'll link it up here so you can watch it over and over again. In that video, Cyrus mentioned that one of the things you need to do as a public speaker or as someone who wants to speak more confidently is to diversify your vocabulary. And the only way to do that is to be more intentional about learning new words on a daily basis. I'm also going to walk you through how to use Thesaurus to help you check synonyms of words so that you can have a rich vocabulary. So today we will be doing all that, and if you're interested, you want to keep on watching. So now, time to expunge some overused words. Some of you may be wondering, what is Thesaurus? Thesaurus is a tool, more like a dictionary, used to check for the synonyms of words so you can enrich your vocabulary. Sometimes I feel like I particularly abuse some words. When you just get used to using, for instance, I just used getting used to using. A way of diversifying it is to think of other words that can be used to replace that word. So instead of saying when you get used to using, I could say when you get accustomed to using the same words over and over again, it becomes difficult for you to expunge them if you don't put a conscious effort into it every day on a daily basis, ensuring that you learn new words. And the way to do that is to expunge those old words, throw them out the window, and let's get some new words. Let's start with the word fast. Fast means to do something quickly. Now, to say she writes very fast, you could replace fast in that statement with she writes so swiftly, or she writes so speedily. Instead of using fast, you could use other words like swift, rapid, speedily, and different words listed right here. So, have you heard of Usain Bolt? Oh, he is such a fast runner. Instead of using fast, you could say, have you heard of Usain Bolt? He is such a swift runner. So if you're planning to write international exams, like examinations where you get your knowledge of the English language tested, like Toefl or Ielts, you want to ensure that you take this class seriously because they want to see that you are very vast in your use or in diversifying the words that you use in your essays and all the other areas where they are going to be testing you. They don't want to have you repeating the same words over and over again. If you do that, you will get your marks deducted. So you want to pay as much attention as you can to today's lesson. Next, let's talk about beautiful. Have you seen Bola's dress? Oh, it is so beautiful. But what words can we replace beautiful with in this sentence? You could say, have you seen Bola's dress? Oh, it is so adorable. Or, have you seen Bola's dress? It is so resplendent. Or you could simply say, have you seen Bola's dress? Oh, it is so fine. So beautiful can be replaced with all these words. Next, we'll talk about the word angry. Angry can also be replaced with other words. So, I got to work late yesterday. My boss was so angry. You could replace that with, I got to work late yesterday. My boss was so furious. Or, I got to work late yesterday. My boss was so livid. So these variety of words will make your words colorful, interesting, and you'll be fun to listen to. Note that some of these words have slightly different meanings from one another, so you want to ensure that you apply them to the sentence depending on the situation you're trying to describe. You want to apply them accordingly. For instance, in this situation, I got to work late yesterday. My boss was so bitter. Bitter may not work there, But in a case where you got someone angry, or you hurt someone so badly, and then the person starts to react, you could say, he broke her heart and she was bitter for years. Now, yes, she was angry, but the anger has now gotten to another level, and then she's now bitter because of the heartbreak. So you see that there are different levels to it. So you want to check for their meanings so that you can apply them accordingly to your statements. Next, let's talk about this word, hard. Hard can be replaced with words like difficult, challenging, tough, or demanding. So you could say, things are currently hard in Nigeria. Hard in this statement could be replaced with, things are currently challenging in Nigeria, or things are really difficult in Nigeria. So you can replace hard in that statement with these alternatives. Another word that has really suffered abuse is the word use. I can't count the number of times I've used to use, even in this video. So you see, it's a gradual process. It's something you have to get conscious of and keep growing, getting better by the day. So let's see words with which we can replace use. Do you know how to apply a mascara? So instead of saying, do you know how to use a mascara, you could say, do you know how to apply a mascara? Or, do you know how to put on a mascara? That could also go. So there are different ways to use it. For instance, utilize may not go when it comes to applying a mascara. You cannot say, do you know how to utilize a mascara? I don't think that would perfectly fit. In the case of utilize, you could say, we need to utilize our skills more so that we can grow. Now, instead of saying we need to use our skills and talents more, you use utilize in that case. So there are diverse ways of using or utilizing your alternatives so that you don't sound boring. Next word, excellent. So say you write an examination, came out tops, and you want to describe your performance to somebody. How do you describe it without using the word excellent? Oh, I had an exceptional performance. Or, I had an extraordinary performance. Wow, I had a unique result. My result was absolutely distinctive. So that way you already described that your result or your performance was above par. Next is this word, happy. The festive seasons are here, and a lot of people will be having visitors, visiting people, and a lot of merriment going on. So say for instance you have a family member or a friend coming around to spend the holidays, and then he or she calls and says, oh, I would love to come around for Christmas and spend a few days with you just to celebrate the festive season. And then your response is to tell him or her that, oh, I'll be happy to receive you. How else can you say that without using the word happy? Wow, I would be delighted to have you around. Or, I would be pleased to have you visit. You could also say, I'll be thrilled to have you around. So you see, it's just fun to have different words in your vocabulary. So let's head on to Thesaurus.com to see how it is used.
So you log on to Thesaurus.com, and then you have this interface, and then you type the word you want to search for. You have slow. Let's try slow, and then let's check for the synonyms we have here, and then it would load and bring options that you can have. You have some options here: unhurried, lazy, easy, lackadaisical, quiet, stagnant, leisurely, and other options. And then you can also click to get more options, but notice that there's a darker orange, and then there are lighter orange colors here. But the darker it gets, the closer it is to the word you're looking for. So reluctant is closer in meaning to slow than these other ones here: measured, disinclined, idle, and other options, laggard, that you have right here. Now let's see other options. Behind, late, then you have the meanings down here. And then you can also scroll up to see or check for other options like unintelligent, and then you also have meanings under that, or rather you have synonyms that you can use as options under that. So you have options up there depending on which context you want to use the word in. Okay, so let's search for fast now to see synonyms we can use in the place of fast. Scroll down now to get some synonyms, and then you find abstain, diet, forbear, that's to go without food. Remember, we talk about context. And then you have speedy. Let's check for meanings or different synonyms for speedy if you're using it in that context. You have rapid, quick, swift, dashing, electric, flashing, fleeting, flying, and so on and so forth.
Now look at this word. We had several guests at the event. Depending on the magnitude of people you had at the place, you could say we had thousands of guests at the event. Next, let's talk about sad in describing a very unfortunate situation. For instance, the kidnapping or abduction that happened in Katsina State, Nigeria recently, where over 300 boys were kidnapped from their school. A very sad incident indeed. So if you were to describe that kind of situation and you don't want to use the word sad, you could use unfortunate. I already mentioned that earlier. Unfortunate. You could say that was a quite unfortunate situation, or that was so pathetic. You could also say that was a regrettable incident. So there are diverse ways you could put it without using the word sad. Now finally, we'll talk about goodbye. Now goodbye or bye-bye is one that is commonly used, especially when you're leaving a particular place. Instead of saying goodbye, you could use alternatives like later, especially when you're talking to a friend or someone who you are more familiar with in an informal setting. You could also say, take care, see you later. Or if it's a weekend, you can say, have a lovely weekend. You can also say, bye. Like I always love to say at the end of my videos, I like to say, bye. So this is where we call it wraps on today's edition. I hope it's been very helpful, especially to build your vocabulary, and I trust that you would put it to use so that it's not just about you watching this video and then forgetting about it after today. Please ensure you put it into use. Practice, 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 and then you get better. I'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, follow, and please do well to check out my other videos. Thank you for watching. Bye.